Hey there, I thought I would go back to some older times and try to do one of these. My webcam, I think, is about done with. The sound has not been working right all the time. I just hope it doesn't disconnect while I'm doing this. Anyway, I've been looking into our DNA connection a little bit more lately, the last two couple weeks anyway. So, and I tried to really start narrowing it down, focusing on like Charlotte and Corey connections and Charlotte and Steve, um, for example. And if you go Charlotte and Steve, you're kind of filtering out my Ponder double connection there. And this lady is one of the matches that comes up here, and this is going to basically lead into something that I've talked about off and on, my Williams connection. Um, and just a spoiler, I really feel like it's going to be a Williams and Cole connection, or Williams specifically. Cole, maybe. I don't really know. Um, but there appears to be some sort of Williams connection, which sucks because obviously that's like, I mean, it might as well be Smith. Um, and there's a variety of reasons why I think that we've done a lot of research and not actually figured that out yet. With the one of the reasons being is if it is a Williams connection, that would make sense, or Cole for that matter. But this lady, is one of those that comes up if you really get specific DNA matches and kind of filter everybody out. And you've got the Haleys, which are like one of the most common. The Deans are probably the only ones that are more common that we see than the Haleys. Um, and again, so you've got Haley, now Silas Williams, and Catherine Haley. And of course, now that's going to be a little bit confusing, but anyway, it's a Williams connection of some sort nonetheless. So at least that's what it appears to be with her. So I actually, with her, I kind of dedicated to like a Steve Denise DNA tree search and all that, kind of looking at who you two had in common with and all that. And I am pulling up some common matches. Like I'm pulling up a Newcomb and a Kelly and all that. And again, but it's just not leading anywhere. Which makes me think that because again, I'm doing this all pretty quickly. I'm not like looking through a bunch of stuff, and so most people probably have their stuff wrong, honestly, but I'll get into those connections in a second. So, obviously the McCluskey Ford tree, is where and I actually redid this a little bit. I went ahead and reconnected what I broke, but I did make a little bit of a change. So I'm not sure after this point. I'm not sure about that. And beyond that, obviously, Thomas and Charity unknown. But obviously Elizabeth, and then the McCubbin guy. And then there's a Williams, Larry Williams, and it's a connection to Charlotte that I found. And I thought, again, staying on the Williams line there. And he has this same line on his tree, Thomas and Charity unknown, William Painter. I can do the horizontal here. He's got a Dean connection. I pretty much filled in all of this stuff. He's got a Welch. He's got like a Dossies. I've been messing with them a lot. But anyway, like it goes through like the Painters, and this goes from, Thomas and Charity unknown, all the way down, and I pretty much have that now in my McCluskey Ford tree. I put the Painters, made sure they were all in there and all that. In my own tree, there's a couple things. So, I mean, if I were to really pinpoint where I would think that this line would have to intersect in my own tree, before I get to that, I did want to mention this PDF too. Sorry, I'm dancing around. And so this lady that believes that, you know, she's researching the DNA and all that other stuff, and she notices she has a lot of she is saying that coals come up on, and I'm going to email you this, by the way, but she's got basically just trying to figure out the Dean DNA, and she says that she is basically it's a coal, Etta coal or something. And it's funny, I'm reading this thing and I can't even see where she mentions it, but I'm sure that it is right in front of me here. But anyway, she's got some sort of unknown coal connection. So she thinks that there's some sort of a Dean Cole connection, and I mentioned that here. There she is. Yeah, there. I mentioned that only because I've got a Cole connection as well. Also, and I was gonna go ahead and pull this up. So this is well, that's the wrong one. This is the lady or the person, and again it's linking back to the Abraham Woodward line that we've seen countless times. And again, I've even got these, you know, the Woodward line, you know, in my tree as well. You know, we've got the Haleys here, we've got the Hardys, we've got the Deans, you know, and then I even you know, expanded on that line a little bit. But I mean, this is, to me, again, where it, to me, it seems like in my own tree that this would be the obvious intersect somewhere. I mean, I've even got a William Dean Alice. I mean, you know, we know all these people, and of course we've got a couple Williams connections up there as well to throw into the mix. An Alan Williams, a Rachel Williams. You get the point. So, also, I noticed on my own tree as well, I have seen some Graves connections as well. This is also on my own tree. I mean, I found Hornbecks, but not Hornbeaks that I have on my... And I've had this is nothing new. They've been on my tree probably less than a year, but just worth noting. I have seen some Graves connections. I am going to go ahead and... Well, I won't close out of him, but like this Larry Williams, you can see the DNA matches anyway. It basically pulls up all the same photos, and a lot of the people look like a mixed race. Maybe not even on this list. I pulled up, yeah, her. I pulled up, she was also on the list, and if you really look, there's a lot of people, and she even notes on a lot of her, you know, in her notes, like what their genetic makeup is. But again, so there's, you know, there's another Williams. So there's the Newcomb that I found that I couldn't trace because she doesn't really have a tree. Seeing if any of these other surnames, I know that's kind of taking an easy way out of it. Let's see, he's African American, like there's Wes Williams, another Newcomb, White, Erica White, another Williams. And again, it's a common name, so that's what's kind of irritating as well. It's like, okay, well, yeah, maybe it's normal to see that many Williams on a list. I mean, you know, I've never been keeping track. But see, you've got these Kellys, and you've got the Newcombs, and from this line, I've got the Kellys and the Newcombs right here. I've not tried the Kellys yet, but again, it just leads to nowhere. I mean, like, if these people do have it right, and I double-checked it to make sure it was at least, you know, looked right, you know, it's like, if this is the case, but again, there's a Williams line right there as well, which to me is where it makes more sense. Let's see if I have anything else here. So, I guess, basically, the thing is I understand in Charlotte's tree kind of where it connects. In my tree, you know, like let's say it connects there or whatever. I just don't know where in yours it does. Because, I mean, I've looked at your through lines and things of that nature, and, you know, like, I don't, you do have a couple of Williams, I believe. But again, that doesn't mean anything because of the name. But also, I guess the only other thing that I was going to mention, actually, let me go back on that. I don't want to, okay, here we go. So, it also makes sense because, as far as the Williams Cole connection, because that's probably my dad's side that I've least researched on, and it's the newest. Um, so basically, what we've figured out is that, of course, we've got Jacob somewhere over here. There he is. Jacob and Allie. Jacob's dad, we believe to be Daniel B. Pearson. And we know just through DNA, otherwise it would be impossible to know, that there was some sort of a Williams connection, because that is where all the DNA points to. And so the Williams that I'm connected to is actually going to be Jacob's mother's line. And so, I mean, that, again, that's something I don't know if I've talked a whole lot about that, just because. And again, we do have some other names in there, like we've dealt with Milliken before, I know. Miller's come up, but, that's a common one also. But anyway, and I'm going to have to take out those damn stars. I hate it whenever people do that. Anyway. And then, of course, from there, you've got Daniel Williams and Nancy Cole. And that's where the Cole line comes in. And again, that lady may have been onto something whenever she said that she was getting this Cole connection. And she linked that, and she linked her tree to like the Abraham Woodward, line that we see all over the place. And we've been researching for, 100 years now. But anyway, I was just going to mention all this and threw it together in a video for you to see. But again, yeah, so there's the DNA matches for Larry Williams, of course. So that there's another Williams. Obviously, I guess that doesn't really matter. I don't know MW, but I don't want to make this video too terribly long. But anyway, well, there's Hightowers and the Deans. Just looking at the surnames here, George. And this actually could help me. This mystery could end up helping me figure out more about my Williams line also. But anyway, I will go ahead and shut this off now, and I hope my webcam recorded the sound for the entire thing.